So, Jack's back.
Yes, he is, Aiden. I didn't see that coming at all.
No.
We all knew it. We were now just saying, we were right. Look at that.
Were right. But hey,
when in Rome, that's what I say.
When in Rome, yeah. We got to see 3 seconds. After all that hype, we got 3 seconds of Jack.
It's ridiculous, Aiden. So
good shit.
So I don't normally do this, but I woke up at like 4:30 or whenever it was.
Yeah.
And I happened to hear my phone buzz, and it was on silent. And I was like, "Who's that?" And it was you in our group chat with Dan saying Jack's back. And then I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I knew he would be, and I'm like, "Trailer, hell yeah!" So I checked it out, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like 30 seconds long. But okay, that's fine. It's probably just like a little TV spot for now.
Yeah.
And then it was like a huge intro, and there was the classic Jodie outro with the "Don't forget to subscribe," and it was like about 3 seconds of Jack, which was really cool. But
yeah.
Did you like what you saw? I know it's not much to break down, but did you like it?
I mean, I guess I tell you what, I really like the poster we got. I think that looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Look, the squareness done. That's back in town, baby.
Yeah, classic. The old banana factory now.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we did get, it's great to see Jack again. We haven't seen him for like a decade. Obviously, we saw him like in season 12, but like, he hasn't been on for a long time. It's been really cool to see him. What I'm excited for most is to see how he engages with the Doctor.
Same.
Being such different doctor. It's been such a different Doctor now, and it's been so long since he's been on the show.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what he's been up to, and hopefully he talks a bit about stuff.
Yeah, I think what I'm most excited for is to have the Doctor and Jack sit down, have like a D&M, and have Jack be like, "I've been doing this stuff." To be honest, that's not the stuff I care about too much. I'm more curious to see Jodie be like, "Since we last met, I've like lost so many people, and now I am the timeless child," and sort of like see. I want to see how that affects her, because to me, the whole timeless child thing, the only way they're going to pull it off is if they make it have like a big character shift on her to where it's like really affected her.
Yeah, and fingers crossed. I think this episode looks to have a bit of a darker tone.
Yeah.
Which I think, especially with Jodie being like locked up, and I think that's going to really mess with her. I think it's going to be the end of a few companions. I don't think that'll mean death, but like, it'll be the end of a few of them, I think.
Yeah, I hope Ryan fucking dies.
How dare you?
I hope Ryan dies, and then Graham is like, "Oh damn, he's dead. Better get my life together then." And then just like, he's like, "If you're ever around Earth, hit me up." And then just like, he's in like 3 or 4 episodes of season 13. I think would be cool. Or maybe less, because there's less episodes now. But yeah.
The next writer of Doctor Who, the one, Aidan Grain.
That's me. Kill them all.
Well done.
Kill them all.
Okay. I hope we just get a clean slate, to be honest. I think that's what the show needs. Are we going to get that? I doubt it.
I really
do think that they're going to keep Yaz, to be honest, which...
Yeah,
it makes me want to cry a little bit. But
they will. I don't know if you saw that Children in Need competition they were doing.
And legit. And it was just empty, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were in... Mandit was in a new costume, so it's like... It's definitely going to be like them too. And then whether or not there's like another companion they're hiding off to the side and not saying anything about. I
hope so.
I hope we get a new one mid-season. I want a few episodes of just Yaz and the Doc, because I seriously... I love Yaz. I think Yaz right now is where she should have been at the end of season 11. But I'm keen to sort of get a season of Yaz where we really develop her, because she has so many cool things, like
the whole place
her
thing.
Like issues with mental health and how she was bullied as a kid and all these things that have been like breadcrumb through. I think even though she's the most underutilized companion, I think she is the most consistent in her character arc.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you watched that Crispy video, but I think he made some good points about how all the characters have really good like things going for them. It's good on paper. I just don't think it's going like really well out in the scripts and stuff. And I think with a bit of work, and if it is just her, then of course that'll give her more time to be the more center of attention. Look, if she is going to be the whole new companion and it's just her, I won't be mad. But I just want to see, I just want to see a lot of improvement. And I'm intrigued. It's really weird they didn't give us a fucking date. They didn't give us a full trailer. I don't know what they're doing over there. They're like such a bad marketing team nowadays.
I don't really care about seeing more stuff. Like, I really don't give a shit. I just want to know when it is. That's all I needed. Just like put a date at the end of that trailer.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care either. I just mean from a standpoint where like the fan base is so divided at the moment. They need to start building up hype for the one episode they've got. You know.
Yeah.
I just think that the fan base is so divided. Like, I saw a few things on like TARDIS post and I was like, shit, like people aren't happy about this. Like, and I was like, oh god, like I wish they could have just given us a release date. I would feel more hyped if I knew when it was. And, you know, if I saw a little bit more, but hey, I don't see why they didn't just release a trailer. It was the perfect day to do it.
Yeah.
It's a bit bizarre. Or even a release date. They just didn't do either.
Even if it was like a teaser that was just a little bit more than what that was. Like, maybe it starts with like a shot of Jodie in the thing, and then in the prison, and then a shot of the fam, and then like one shot of Dalek.
Yeah, get a good Dalek shot,
and it's just like 4 shots. Just showing sort of the 4 things that we can expect. Make them good shots of that. But still, like, not revealing much at all, I think would have been a better route to go with this.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to... Here's the thing now. I feel like the trailer's just going to drop randomly.
It will. Well, here's the thing.
You know what I mean? We won't be prepared. It'll just be randomly.
On the 1st of December is when they release the... BBC releases its festive schedule. So by the 1st of December, we'll know when it is, and I can imagine they'll do a trailer on the 1st or 2nd of December revealing it.
I just like, surely when Doctor Who is trending on Twitter, from a marketing standpoint, it would be better to release a trailer that day. No,
you're right.
I honestly don't. What's the difference between now and a couple of days?
Yeah. In saying that though, I have seen, for example, like my cousin in the UK, she's like so hyped. Like she's been like sharing the poster around, sharing the articles, and she never posts anything on Facebook. But all of a sudden, I'm like, oh wait, you exist.
That's
sweet.
Like
posting all that stuff, and it was pretty cool to see.
That's
pretty
sweet.
Cool to see some hype. Connor, you seem like you need hyping up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just knackered, hey, but that's okay. I'm ready to roll. I've got notes, baby. I'm with my divine white chocolate prince, Aiden. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to fucking talk about Lazarus Experiment. I swore Mark wrote this episode, but he didn't.
No, he didn't. I think what you need is to talk about the Lazarus Experiment. I think that is what will hype you up.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, so, to get in with that hype, shall we roll into the intro, my man?
Do it, Aiden. Click that bloody button. Play the sting already. 50% podcast.
Alright, so.
Also got a coffee, Aiden, so.
Today, you got a coffee? You're going to get a pick-me-up? Halfway through the show, you'll be like pinging off the wall. I've got a humble tea in my Baby Yoda mug.
Humble tea. You're about to eat humble pie with my thoughts on this bloody episode, bro.
So, the episode which we are reviewing today is the Lazarus Experiment, which is the 6th episode of the 3rd series of the revived British science fiction television series Doctor Who. It was broadcast on BBC One on the 5th of May 2007 and stars David Tennant as the 10th Doctor and Freema Agyeman as Martha Jones. In the episode, Professor Richard Lazarus Mark Geddes demonstrates an experiment at his laboratory near Southwark Cathedral in Southwark, where he renews himself into a younger-looking man. The effects on Lazarus' DNA causes him to change into a giant creature that sucks the life force from other victims. It was directed by Richard Clarke and written by Stephen Greenhorn. Who, I don't know.
I know.
These blokes?
I was about to ask you that. He rings a bell, but doesn't he do Family of Blood?
He does. No, he does The Doctor's Daughter.
Can't wait to watch that next season.
Just these two.
That's it.
And Richard Clarke rings a bell. He's the guy that comes back in season 6 to do The Doctor's Wife and Night Terrors this season. Right. He also did Gridlock, and he's done 2 episodes of Life on Mars.
Hey, I love that show. Hey.
So, Big Lazo, the Big Lazo Experimento.
I could have sworn, I swear, because Mark cast himself into everything. When I sat down to watch this episode, I could have sworn he wrote it.
Well, I always was like, he didn't write this one. He acted in it because he writes an episode of every season from 1 to 10, right? And I was like, so in season 3 he just doesn't write one. He just acts in one instead. But then the other day, a few weeks ago, I had this revelation where I was like, hold on a minute, he doesn't write in season 4.
Yeah, true. Fuck.
Yeah, he just does 1, 2, and then 5 to 10.
So his next one's Victory of the Daleks.
Victory. Yeah.
What? That was me thinking Marky Mark did one every season.
Yeah, same. But
what the fuck? Mark, get your shit together. Come back to Doctor Who. For one. We miss you.
Yeah. I miss him. He's got some fun episodes. They're never amazing, but I enjoy them. They're very similar to Moffat. So I feel every writer that comes on the show, they just blend into the Russell writing. But Moffat and Gatiss, their episodes always, you can tell they're written by them.
I always fucked with Crimson Horror a lot. I just thought it was a really fun, different episode.
Yeah. Anyways, in this episode, we have Tish, Leo, and Francine back. So that's cool. That's very cool. Connor, I think you should go first and start talking about your thoughts on the Lazarus Experimento.
Oh, shit, I literally just dropped my notes, sorry.
Good one.
I was smacking my fucking notes against the desk. Alrighty! Alright, so the episode begins with the time vortex, which is a cool, different thing. The whole way I will describe this episode is different, and I think that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did. And I feel like before I even say anything else, we're going to have very different opinions on this episode. But that's okay, because opposites attract. So, I do like how he says no place like it, because she's like, oh, where are we now? And it's actually just her apartment. And they land in this small little apartment, which we get to see again in the Sound of Drums, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I do like how he's kind of just like, that's it, you're gone, you're leaving. And she's like, oh, shit, that's really shit of you. Again, the Doc is a bit of a shitty person this season, when the whole idea of him just kind of using Martha, and he's like, yeah, fuck you, it was all those trips, and then you're out, I don't care, it meant nothing to me.
Yeah, just a quick yeet and skeet.
Yeah, the old root and boot, as we say here in Australia. And of course you get to see that Tish Tash Tosh has now got a new job, and she is on TV with Lazarus, and he says that he's going to change what it means to be human. I remember hearing that line in the Next Time trailer for this episode and being like, bruh, this is crazy. So I was really intrigued about what it meant. And I like how the Doctor kind of hears it but doesn't react to it, and then they turn the TV off and it's like, okay, see you later. And the Doctor Forever's playing in the background, by the way, which I love. One of my favourite Mario tracks. And he fucks off, and then he comes back and he's like, hang on a minute, did he say he's going to change what it means to be human? I think it's a great opening scene. Again, very, very original. I can't remember any episode that's kind of like that. I do like how the Doc is wearing different clothes this episode. It's always fun to see that. I do like when the Doctor just randomly for an episode wears different clothes. He's wearing the suit and tie, which looks really great.
Very good.
Looks very jazzy. Bond. And I like how he says whenever I wear this, something goes wrong. And of course, we're like, well, something is about to go wrong, Doc. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on this episode of my TV right now. And
that's right.
Aiden, you're a big James Bond fan. Not so much me, but Martha does say you like James Bond. And he's like,
yes, which he then goes and he fiddles with his tie, or loosens his tie.
There you go.
Which is to quote from the Wikipedia page on here, it was him trying to be like Daniel Craig.
I see.
It's very Dan Craigism.
Okay, apparently. And we're going to see obviously Tish's new job. She's the head of the PA, I believe, or some shit like that. We get to see the whole of Martha's family, like Leo and stuff, and her mum and stuff. Her dad's not there for some reason, I don't know why. But we also get a mention of Saxon as well, because we get to see good old Lazo upstairs being like, we got a lot of people coming tonight, no one can really get hurt. Mr. Saxon's waiting on the results, and I don't know if I really picked up on it, because it's the whole tortured babble thing. I don't know if I picked up on it much as a kid, but there's been a few mentions of him. Also, we haven't had any in the last 3 episodes, because they've all been set off Earth, but I think every Earth episode kind of has one. Obviously, he does the whole changing thing, which I think looks cool, and it's a pretty original idea. I like original ideas. I think it's a nice idea. I think one day we'll actually come to see this in real life, where someone actually gets younger again. But of course, there's always consequences because you can't fuck with nature. Obviously, we get to see Lazarus kill his wife, which is a bit cheesy, and they do this hell weird, like kind of like shady ass POV cameras of Lazarus's eyes, and it looks kind of weird. And it does make me laugh, because I know when Martha and the doctor go upstairs and they find the body, the way the doctor says is he killed her. He's like, oh, it was like squeezing the juice out of an orange. I couldn't stop fucking laughing because like someone's dead and the doctor's just making jokes about it. And the way he says it, the way Dan says it, is so fucking funny. But we're gonna see Tish getting taken upstairs so that Lazo can give her a bit of a kiss, which I don't get, by the way, because like he's being hell seedy with her, and then one minute when he's old, she's like, nah, fuck you, and then like because he's like kind of younger now, she's like, oh well, you can seedy. Do that to me. I'm like, oh, that's a bit weird.
What do you think of the CGI of Lazo?
Yeah, it's really bad. It looks like it looks like something I would draw as a kid and be like, oh, there's the face and there's the stinger and that's the body. I feel like the body and shit of it is actually okay, but it's just like they tried to CGI his face and like do this weird blend with like I don't know, like his actual face. Yeah. And it just it was gross, very gross. I mean, are they trying to go for a bit of a scorpion? I guess it's kind of the impression I got. Yeah. I do love when like they escape Lazarus from upstairs and the doctor runs up downstairs and is like, everyone needs to get out, and a woman says, I cannot stop laughing. She's like, what the hell are you talking about? There's no danger here, and the most dangerous thing here is choking on an olive. And I was like, bro,
I lost my shit. I thought that was so funny.
So fucking funny.
Just the way she says it. The most dangerous thing here is choking on an olive. And then Lazo just walks up and everyone's like, ah!
Oh my god, what is that? Literally. And I love how like when people get killed in like Doctor Who episodes, they don't run, they just stand there just to be killed.
Yeah, and they just stand there and look at the POV camera.
Yeah, he always yells out, get away! And they, and they just die. I like how someone who clearly works for Saxon is trying to stitch a doctor up and goes to talk to Martha's mom and says he's like a dangerous person and stuff. I do like the scene where it's just Martha and the doctor being chased by Lazarus, and they go into Lazarus's machine, and the doctor has a good point. It's like he won't destroy his piece of art, but then he turns it on, and then they have to figure out a way to stop it.
Nice shoes.
Oh. Yeah, the nice shoes. I literally wrote it down. There's like some cool dialogue like nice shoes, Martha, and all that, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, good dialogue in there, and they reversed the polarity.
They reversed the polarity. He's like, I shouldn't have taken that long. Yeah, literally, he's like, I shouldn't have taken that long. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't read my handwriting. Oh well. Yeah. So I do like how the doc gets slapped, and he's like, "Oh, it's always the mothers," which is a callback to when Jackie slapped him in season 1, which I thought was funny. I like the church scene. There's like some cool like shots about like it's kind of like spinning around the doctor with the camera and stuff, and I thought it was pretty cool. I like the direction and stuff. Yeah. The piano scene's cool. It kind of ties into the doctor being quite musically talented, which he talks about here and there. Obviously, we get to see Pete playing the guitar later on in the show. We get Mark Gat-Ass, as I called him on Snapchat to you boys. I thought it was quite funny.
I love Gat-Ass.
Gat-Ass,
Gat-Ass is a good ass.
And so we get to see at the end where Martha's like, oh yeah, I don't want to just be your little like one night stand. I want to be with you full time. The doctor's like, yeah, go on. She's like, yay. And and we're going to see the 42 trailer, which made me want to cry. It's Tribal's first episode.
So keen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, very keen. And this episode actually has one of my favorite Doctor Who quotes of all time, and it's not the time that matters, it's the person. Because the Doctor says some people do more in 20 years than 60 years. It's not the time that matters, it's the person, which I think is a very good quote to live by, and one that I totally agree with. And final thing I'll say is I think Mark's pretty good in it. He's alright. It's just funny that he's in so many things in Doctor Who. Like he's in literally in like Pete's last episode. He does like heaps of shit. It's pretty funny, but you can take it away, Aiden.
Yeah, I'll just say that roof scene is so good. Like that whole conflict there. It really well written dialogue, this episode, I think.
I agree. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more. I still don't think it was great, just because, like, the stakes were just, like, you know, just a monster on the loose kind of thing. Yeah, like you said, Geddes, I think, was really good in it. I think it was really good for the most part. Although, how funny was that Snapchat I sent you when he transforms and you see him behind Tish Tash Tosh, and he's like, ugh! And his fingers just like go up into the air, and then he just collapses. It's fucking hilarious.
I actually didn't like when it first started and he was on TV. I was like, "Is that Mark in prosthetics?" Until I saw like a full like shot of him not on TV. I was like, "Is that Mark, or is it like a different actor?" And then he just plays the younger version. But yeah, he plays the prosthetics look really good for him being old.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. How do you think he felt having to kiss that old bird?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I thought about that.
I think he would have loved it. That's so Gators.
Yeah, you see stuff like that sometimes in TV shows, and you're like, you either get lucky or you just, you know, I don't know. Some people just get lucky and stuff with shows. Yeah. This wasn't Mark's lucky day, in my opinion.
Not today. Maybe it was. We don't know what that man's into.
Maybe. Well, he's gay, isn't he? So.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Not know that.
I'm 90% sure.
Oh. Well, that's an interesting fact, I guess.
I will Google while you talk.
Okay, amazing. Did you... two things. One, the logo for Lazarus in Industries or whatever it is looks too much like a Time Lord symbol to me.
Did you feel that? All the Lazarus-like signs?
Yeah, the Lazarus, like, all the circle things. It reminded me too much of, like, a Time Lord symbol, and I was like...
It reminded me of the New Earth... thing. By the way, he is gay.
Interesting.
His spouse is
really
Ian
interesting. Just a fact.
Howard. Yeah.
Amazing. Did you also pick up on the violin?
Yes, playing the score.
Yeah, like they're actually just playing the score in the middle of the function room. That was sick.
I did notice that. Yeah. I know it's a cheeky Mario score here and there, Aiden. Don't worry. Don't worry.
That was very good. Yeah, I think Martha's family, it was cool to see them in this episode. I think it was like a great sort of way to ground them. It's so interesting because it feels like by this time in Rose's run, you were so sort of down with her family and you knew them because... like Jackie had been in 1, she makes an appearance in 2, and then in 4 and 5 she's there so prominently. Whereas in Martha, they didn't really rely on that family grounding as much, and they sort of had a couple of scenes of it in the first one, and this is sort of the episode 6 now is sort of when you first really get to know them a bit more.
Yeah, interestingly, because like they're obviously a big part of the final where like the Martha takes them and like imprisons them. So.
Yeah, they're really good. I think they're a good. I think
it is.
I think probably quite a real family for some people. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I like how it's realistic that she wouldn't want her daughter running off with some crazy man she just met, and I do like how the doctor kind of like digs himself a hole because she's like, "So what have you been doing?" And they're like, "Oh, you know, we've been busy doing what?" And it's like stuff, and it's like. Kind of alluding that they've like been just having sex for the last 24 hours, and I'm like, aha, I like that. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're good. That whole dynamic, I think, is real fun. What did you think of his credited as Mysterious Man? What did you think of him?
I did notice this. Yeah. So I assume he works for the Saxon party.
Yeah, of course.
Or something. Yeah, I actually did notice. It's funny because we had Hero Pig yesterday.
And now Mysterious Man.
Mysterious Man. It's okay. It's a bit cheesy. It's like, do you know who that man is? It's like, no. It's like, you should tell your daughter to be more careful who she hangs out with. And then he walks off. I'm like, even as a child, I was like, he's going to come back in this episode and be like, alright, this is what happened with this guy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's pretty funny.
It's cheesy, but also kind of cool. I don't know. That kind of sums up this episode pretty well.
It's a cheesy, intriguing scene.
Yeah. What other thoughts do I have? The cathedral stuff I thought was pretty cool. Like you said, it was pretty well shot, pretty tense. And it felt like I think season 2, the ending of every episode, whenever it would be like dun 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 dun, and it would just be like them running through corridors. It felt like it was that, but it felt like a fresh take on it. I don't know why. I just think it was maybe paced a bit differently or blocked a little differently. I don't know. But it didn't feel as literally by the time you get up to like episode 8 or 9 of season 2, you're like, okay. We get it. The episode's going to end with Rose and the Doctors running through corridors and Murray just cranking up the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. It's a lot more fresh this season. I've been finding it so much more fresh.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Real good. I did notice, I could tell that when they went upstairs in the cathedral, it was a set compared to the location filming at the bottom part and stuff. I don't know. It just really stood out to me. I think it was great seeing Martha and her sister Tish Tash Tosh have to work together. I think that was a good character thing. It's
cool how she comes along, where like they run off after Lazarus.
Yeah.
After he gets shot in the which is such a dumb idea by the way. The doc's like, "Oh, just send him off. He'll be fine. I'm sure he's dead." And it's like, next minute, all the fucking ambulance drivers are dead. I'm sure they had families.
Yeah.
And Doc's like, "Oh shit! Wait, he didn't die."
Damn, I fucked up.
He was just knocked out. Who knew? I didn't. Yeah. We'll just send him off into an ambulance and he'll wreak havoc.
But upon the whole, like it was pretty enjoyable. I had a good time with it. I just don't know how much there is there to like dive into, you know, which I think sort of weighs it down. There wasn't anything massively.
I always thought it was quite
issues that jumped out to me.
Yeah, I thought it was quite original. I found it a lot more fun than, say, like a standalone episode was in season 2. I'm not trying to shit on season 2.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it kind of stood out. It kind of stood on its own feet. It's very much its own thing. It stands out in season 3 as like a good episode that's not amazing, but it is what it is, and it kind of is just, it's its own thing, and I think that's really cool. And it has some originality to it that I didn't think... Sorry, that I thought this season actually kind of really needed. It was quite a breather actually, considering last episode we reviewed. Obviously, the 2-part was quite in your face and this and that. It's Daleks and it's end of the world, and this one was kind of just like quite close to home.
Yeah, and you got quite a few character beats in this one, which I think is really really cool that they made this episode. Once again, it's got a lot of setup for the finale in it, which I think was cool. Like it's definitely its own thing as an episode, but they still planted a lot of seeds, and I think it was really good because in season 1 and 2, it's just like you just hear the bad wolf, and that's all the sort of main story arc is. And then in season 2, it's Torchwood, and so season 3, it feels kind of cool that it's like, sure, you are hearing things like You Are Not Alone and the name Saxon,
but
Saxon there's also twice, like other factors that are playing into it, like you know, like this mystery man rocking up and things like that. There's a bit more to it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it has nothing to do really with the episode. It kind of just like leans into it, and then it, you know, even like what always sent me was when like you watch Torchwood season 1 and there's Vote Saxon signs in the season. Yeah, that fucking sends me. I'm like, that's so cool. If you like technically watch the episodes, if you watch the seasons in like chronological order of like Doctor Who and Torchwood and all that shit, this is Torchwood season 1's obviously set when season 3 is happening, which is really cool. And obviously it leads into like when season 1 ends, it begins with Utopia, which is really sick. That
is very cool.
Very cool. That kind of stuff, like I wish they did more of that now. Like I think that's so cool that you can watch like and it's like you didn't even have to watch Torchwood to even like really. You just Jack's there and he explains it, and it's like, but if you do watch Torchwood, it's kind of like a bit of a more of an expansion of what he's been doing. And yeah, I think the Saxon sign's really cool. It's weird though, because like the one in season 4 is so much like less on the nose. You hear about, it's like just the planet's missing, isn't it?
No, there's a few things in season 4 because
the bees
and
the planets
missing. There's something on your back. There's Billy rocking up in like 3 or 4 of the episodes. In like weird places.
Yeah.
There's all that.
The Lost Moon of Poosh.
Lost Moon of Poosh.
Yeah.
So Well, once again, though, that all ends up it just ends up becoming like you hear words and stuff, whereas in season 3, it feels like, a little more different with this mysterious man, and especially, I'm actually kind of excited to see those scenes with the mysterious man in 42, because that stuff all comes back in 42, remember?
I don't I think, that's when she calls her mum and they're all around the house like tapping on the phone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
those scenes actually aren't even that half bad.
That's what I mean. I've only seen 42 probably a handful of times. I never liked it as a kid.
Same. Yeah.
So I don't remember it that much, but those scenes do stand out to me. I am very keen to see those scenes.
I'll tell you what scene I really what scene I really like in 42 is where there's no audio. He's like shouting Martha's name and saying, "I'll save you." I think that's a lit scene.
Yeah, that was cool.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
In the next step.
Shit.
And then, I like the scene where the doc blows up the lab. That was cool. That was a cool scene, I thought.
Yeah, when we eventually, I know you only joined our school in not episode 7, sorry, in year 7. But God's sake, I'm really bouncing on my words today. I know you only joined our school in year 7, but I remember when I was in year 6 of school, we had to do like a transition day to middle school, and our school had a primary, middle, and senior. So I was in the primary since like year 3, and we had to do like a day where we went to like the science lab and stuff. And when we went to the science lab, and I saw those little gas things that the doctor uses in the the gas pipes, and I was like, oh, it's those things from the Lazarus experiment. I don't believe it. They exist. Yeah, I think that
scene is pretty cool. That you just kind of like you're just hearing Lazarus and not Lazarus. Is that his name? No, it's not.
What, Lazarus?
No, it's not. It is. Yeah, Professor Lazarus. Okay.
Yeah, Lazarus.
I just didn't know if the name was that because of the biblical reference. But no, he is actually called Professor Lazarus.
I see.
Yeah, where Professor Lazarus is like
folks.
Crawling around the tables and stuff, and you can just hear him, and the doc's talking to him. I thought that was cool.
Have you looked in the mirror lately? Why would I want to face that? Burn! That is a cool shot where he like jumps. Is that like a James Bond reference? I feel like it is.
No, I think they just wanted to be cool and have a bit of action.
I've seen that shot done in like many pieces of media. Like they even do it in The Simpsons, like a very similar shot. It must be from something. It's like the whole hallway.
It's just the doctor running away from an explosion. That's all it is.
You're like, just accept it for what it is, Connor.
Well, there is a note here that says this is the second time in the Revive series when the Doctor jumps from an explosion. First seen in The Young Quiet Dead.
I see.
Anyways.
Wow, what a great
Do you
fact.
want to go on to Australia's favourite segment, Connor?
I do, Aiden, quite frankly.
Connor, you sound so down. Come on, Connor.
I'm not.
Get
I'm
hype,
not.
hype. Go for the week. 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 Australia's favourite segment. It's Go for the Week.
Go for the week.
Wow.
I don't have one actually. Do you?
Yeah, neither do me or Titus Wiki.
What? What do you mean?
There's no groups this week.
Is it just the most flawless episode ever?
Apparently, there's no production errors in it. I can't find anywhere. I looked on Wikipedia and Titus Wiki.
I can't from memory remember seeing any actually. So
none stood out to me.
That can't be right. That must be something.
It's fucking Doctor Who.
There's always something. Yeah, literally. There's always a guy standing in the background like in Mandalorian this week. There must be something.
Yeah, I think Richard Clarke is just a brilliant.
Yeah, he's like no flaws, no continuity errors, nothing.
Wow. So if that's the case, shall we move on to Australia's second favourite segment?
Please, Aiden, I need it in my life.
It's behind the scenes.
Ho 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 oh! Staying alive, staying alive.
What is that? What is that? Your sting?
I guess so.
All right, I'll take it. I'll accept it.
I sang "Stay Alive" last episode, so I just did it again.
True. Okay, so there's also like very little interesting things on the production side other than like the dates and stuff they shot. There is one cool thing though,
please,
which is, and it's very obvious once you know, the set piece of the capsule for Lazarus's hypersonic sound wave manipulator is actually a redecorated version of the descent capsule from the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. It looks exactly the same.
Oh no way, it is. Do they just like paint it white or something?
Yeah, literally. I'm looking at a photo of it right now.
Okay, yeah, that is so true.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, look, if you're gonna save a few bucks, why not?
Yeah, why not? It looked cool, I guess. The CGI is a little weird when it all like the shape of it all goes a bit weird.
It almost just like water's coming off of it.
Yeah, some weird like plasma. Yeah.
Yay.
And the only other interesting thing is, and I remember watching this as a kid. There's like an outtake where the doc is like, he's like walking and he's talking with Martha, and then they run out of track, and because the camera's like on a dolly track, dollying across when they're outside,
right?
And he's just like talking to Martha, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is a piece of paper with this, and and we've completely run out of track. Let's do that again." Like, that was a little funny outtake I always remember seeing. And it was conveniently referenced on here, which is funny. I think there's just so little production goss with this episode that like they just threw in an outtake thing there.
Are you still watching all the confidentials on your Blu-ray?
No, I only ever watched 1 or 2.
I see. Okay, I thought you were watching them for each episode.
No, I would, but because they put them all on the last disc,
right?
It's like I can't be bothered swapping the discs over all the time.
Swapping them over here and there. That's a bitch move. Just fucking put it on like the extras.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. So silly. I don't know how much more there is to talk about in this episode, though. I can give you some Mark Geddes origins if you like.
I thought Mark Geddes wrote this episode. Is that one of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Geddes' appearance has made him one of a select few to have both written for and acted in the show.
I see.
Geddes began his writing career on the New Adventure Doctor Who novels. Did you read those novels?
I did not.
Really? They're very cool. I have like a shit ton. I'm actually reading one of them right now.
No,
which
I
I've already
don't.
read
I've
before.
always kind of wanted to, but
I'm reading one. I had the hardback and I love it, and it's a great cover. And then for my birthday last year, Zave bought me those 3.
That's right.
They're sort of like a republication of them, and they're cool covers as well. They're quite nice, and they all match up quite nicely together.
I always thought the stories were meant to be a bit darker, so I was like, I should probably read them, but
yeah,
because kids can't read books. Cool. Apparently,
this novel's cool. It's Matt, Amy, Rory, and the Weeping Angels, and it's a very good Weeping Angel story. Very good from memory.
That sounds lit.
Yeah.
That sounds really lit.
It's good. Yeah.
And Mark writes that?
No, it's some different writer.
Okay.
But Mark wrote some of those novels, I guess.
Mark.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I can give you another slight little fact here as well regarding the broadcast of the show.
Go on.
We're really just pumping up the timing of the episode here.
Don't you know? Pump it up. You've got to
pump it up. The following episode, 42, was delayed by 1 week to make way for the BBC's broadcasting of the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't know if you remember, like I said, I got the video sent over from my nana, and I remember watching the video of this, and at the end I remember it saying, Doctor Who will be back in 2 weeks. And I was like, whoa, why in 2 fucking weeks? And then there was like a mega trailer at the end. Instead of the Next Time trailer that we watched, there was a different trailer. That was sort of like a mid-season trailer that showed.
I've seen this before, yeah.
The rest of it, yeah, with Jack jumping onto the TARDIS and shit, which was cool. But then when they released all the box sets and stuff, they just put the normal TV Next Time trailer onto it. So yeah.
So it's dang BBC trailers.
Them dang BBC trailers.
I have no memory of watching this episode at all,
Neither.
or next week's. I have vivid memories of watching Human Nature and Family of Blood. I actually have a really cringy story which I can't wait to tell you. So I know how much you love me telling you about me sitting down and watching the episode for the first time. I know how much you love it. But I think it was. I know I said the other day when I got sent the 2 volumes, it actually didn't stop at Lazarus Experiment. It stopped at 42. So, like you, I got it sent pretty much half and half. So I got to 42, and that was it. And then I got sent Human Nature to Last of the Time Lords, and that was my full season. But again, we got it. So much. I don't know if you had this though, but when it came to Doctor Who, because we got it so late, by the time we got the episodes, the whole season had been out. A lot of it was spoiled for me. I knew the Master was coming back. I knew what Saxon meant. So every time I heard about it, I knew what it was going to come to. I knew everything about it. I remember, this is a bit cringy as well, I remember when I was waiting for my DVDs to arrive in the post, I went on the Doctor Who website and saw the whole list of episodes that were going to be airing this season, and I wrote down on a piece of paper all the episodes I was excited for, and I wrote down every episode except for 42. I swear. And then I was like, I've written the whole season but this one episode, so I'm going to write down anyway. So it was like, the top of the page was episodes I'm excited to watch, and it was the full season. That's how much of a Doctor Who simp I was, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good.
That's all I got to say about that.
I don't really remember watching much at all with this season. I kind of remember watching Smith and Jones, but at the same time, I don't have any stories from it. I just kind of remember watching it. The only episode I do remember is Blink.
Yeah, me too.
Just hearing conversations before and after it. Actually, I'm going to tell a story now of Blink, because I'm sure we'll discuss a lot of other things on Blink as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll save my initial reaction and spookiness.
And we have friend of the show, Zave, coming on.
Zave will be back on that.
Tell us his stories of childhood trauma.
But I do remember I was talking to someone at school, actually called Connor, and he was a really big Doctor Who
fan.
Hello. And I remember talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, have you seen The Weeping Angels?" And I was like, "No, what are these?" And I think I was a few episodes away from it. And he was like, "Yeah," and he explained them all to me, and I was like, "That's pretty fucking cool." And he was like, "Yeah." And in the next episode, every statue becomes a weeping angel. And I was like, what? And then I watched the episode, and I realized how fucking dumb he was. Because it's just because at the end of the episode, when the Doctor's he does that final speech, and it's cutting between all the...
Oh, he thought it was a Next Time trailer.
Yeah, he thought it was a Next Time trailer.
Oh my god, what is it with Conors?
Goodness me. But then fucking Moffat was like,
that's a great idea,
Connor. And he made it canon.
Literally, Moffat writing that, he was like, you know what? Sometimes I even impress myself when I'm writing. I'm going to use that. I had the exact same thing. I swear, with this season, it aired after I'm sure we watched it. It aired months later. But even when Blink came out, I swear everyone at school was talking about it, even people who didn't watch Doctor Who. It was the first time ever I heard people talking about the show, and it was a huge thing for me, because it was it was my mission to get Doctor Who popular at my school. I don't know if you know this, but I rented out my DVDs to people.
No, really?
I would give my DVDs to all my friends. I'd 5 people. I'd be like, okay, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one. And they would watch them in order. And then when they were done, they would give them back to me, and I'd give it to someone else.
That's cool.
So I had 5 of my volumes out and about.
Little side hustle.
All different houses and places. I do think some people were just too polite to say no, because I would try and talk to people about episodes sometimes, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on it, because they clearly just didn't fucking watch it. Yeah. I was like, oh, fair enough. But I would. But people would legitimately watch it. That's how Declan first watched it, was through me giving him the DVDs. So I had Blink on DVD, which to find the DVDs in Australia was so difficult.
Yeah.
I remember trying to go to JB Hi-Fi, which is a HMV here in Australia. Yeah. This is before the season aired on ABC, and I tried to go and be like, "Do you have Doctor Who?" And they're like, No, what's that? Like, they didn't know. They would check the computers. They'd have nothing in stock. They'd have nothing on order. Nothing. Yeah. And this is season 3. They had not even season 1 or 2 so DVDs.
Tricky,
I swear on my life. You go there now, it's flooded. Like, you can find all the Blu-rays. I swear on my life, this isn't season 3. They didn't even have 1 or 2. Nothing. It was impossible. If you didn't get them sent from the UK,
they don't have that much these days. Who's never not so much on the shelf these days?
Not so much on DVD either. I know they don't restock the they haven't restocked the season 1 to 4 Blu-rays in forever, because I went to get I only haven't got season 3.
Yeah.
And I went to get it last year, and they're like, "Oh, you have to order it online." And I went on the actual website and have it either. You have to order it on Amazon. But this is back in the day when, like, I couldn't work the computer to order a DVD. Like, I couldn't go on Amazon or eBay. Like, I couldn't do that, and neither could my parents. They're pretty useless to that kind of thing. Still kind of hot. Like, they don't know how to use, like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the only way to get it was for either my auntie or my nanny to send them over. So I think that's pretty interesting.
I had all the videos, like I said, and then I remember one Christmas, I think it was like between my Christmas and my birthday, because just the listeners, they're like 2 weeks apart, and
that's right.
There was like I think I was just like, "Hey, Mum, here's my Christmas and birthday list," and I gave her a list, and it was just like the pictures of seasons 1 to 6 on DVD, because that's all that was out at the time. And so I just remember like having to like help my mum going through making sure she was getting all the right DVDs, and we ordered all 6 seasons on DVD. And then on Christmas, I just got 6 fucking box sets, and it was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And now I've replaced that with the Blu-rays.
I know. I remember especially when I would send my parents would go back to the UK to like visit my nan when she was sick one time, and it's just before she passed away. My parents were back, and it was when season 7 part 1 was out, and trying to explain to my parents, like, because obviously season 6 was in 2 parts as well. My mum was in like HMV, she's like, "Is it 6 part 2 or 6 part 1?" I'm like, "No, it's 7 part 1. So 6 part 1, no, 7 part 1. It was like splitting the atom, like 7 part 1. Yeah. Oh my god, it was like so difficult. I got a hell cool limited edition version of the season 7 Blu-ray, not Blu-ray, season 7 DVD of part 1, and it has the has like a weeping angel on it. It looked really sick.
Oh yeah,
because they always had different artworks in the UK. I don't know if you know that. But whenever they'd ship them to Australia, it would have like a whole new artwork most of the time. They have some really cool artworks in the UK, which is like exclusively for the UK.
It's interesting.
So whenever I'd go over, I'd grab them.
Australia's always getting fucked around about this stuff, because I can tell like a similar story now with how I had to get the season 12 steelbook, like, because we couldn't get it in Australia, and it was so fucking dumb. Because they did the season 11 steelbook that was Amazon exclusive in the UK. And then in Australia, JB Hi-Fi, which, like we said, was sort of like HMV, they released it as like a JB exclusive, and I was like, cool, I'll snatch that up, thanks. And so from then onwards, I was like, all right, I got to get them all in steelbook. And then I went to get the season 12 one that I'd seen Amazon was doing in the UK, and then JB Hi-Fi had their JB Hi-Fi exclusive season 12, and it was the steelbook covers, but in a normal Blu-ray case, and it actually made my head explode. Weird. So I had to order it off Amazon UK to my nana's house in the UK and have her send it over to me. It's all gone full circle, you know. Like, she had to do that to me back in the day with the videos, and now she's still doing it for me with the Blu-ray steelbook.
Yeah, it really do be like that. It was such a fun. I mean, but then by the time I watched season 4, that's when YouTube was really starting to pop off, and I would watch. Normally there was a guy who was quite reliable. I hate to say it, I don't agree with pirating at all. I've given Doctor Who enough money, so I don't feel that bad. But yeah, a guy would upload the episodes. By the time I woke up on Sunday morning, this is back when Doctor Who aired on a Saturday, kids. Don't know if you remember that, but it used to. And I could wake up in the morning. I remember one time, it's made me laugh so much. I remember one time, because I would get up at the crack of dawn when I was a young kid. Not anymore, I'd get up like fucking 12, hungover mostly. But I used to go up at like 6 in the morning to go watch Doctor Who. I remember my computer room was like in the middle of like our house back in the day, and I was watching. I think it was either Sontaran Stratagem or Poison Sky. It was one. I think it was Sontaran Stratagem, and I was watching it, and I'd never watch it when people were around me. Just like now, I don't like watching stuff when people are around me. I like watching it alone. And I think like my mum came out to like make a cup of tea in the morning, and I paused the video and scrolled down to the comments. But I think she thought I was looking at something a bit,
bit sus,
explicit, because she was like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "I'm watching Doctor Who." She's like, "I don't think so." I'm like, I am, I swear, because I'd gone down to the comments. She's like, scroll up. I'm like, I'm scrolling up. I'm going as quick as I can. I started crying, and it was literally Doctor Who. I was just watching it on YouTube. The guy who would upload it, because back in the day, if you didn't have a YouTube partnership, you couldn't upload longer than 10-minute videos.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Or like something, or like if you didn't confirm your email or something, I don't know, but so he had to upload the episode in like 6 or 7 parts. And it was like potato quality, but that's how I watched the whole of season 4. Well, I watched every episode of season 4 except for Fires of Pompeii, because for some reason he didn't upload that one, so I didn't get to watch that until I actually got all the volumes sent to me, and I watched Fires of Pompeii from that.
Here's the thing, though, like like I've said 1,000 times before, I watched season 1 in the UK, but then I was getting the videos from my nana, literally from until the end of the specials. So the entire RTD era I got on the videos, and I never watched them early, and somehow I still avoided spoilers. I was always waiting like a month or two. I was always a month or two behind where it was in the UK watching them, and I never had anything spoiled, which was great. It meant like watching Journey's End like a month, 2 months after. I had no idea what was going to happen going into it.
Same.
I remember the first ever relatively, it wasn't even a huge spoiler because I think it was like promo pics, but the very first time I had like a little bit of a spoiler for the show was I saw the promo pic for the Pandoric Opens with all the villains all stood around, and that was the first time I was like, the internet can tell me things about Doctor Who, and then from there it's all been fucked, and now I just look everything up.
It's not out yet. How is it there?
Well, because I do remember in season 5 was when ABC started showing the episode the day after it aired in the UK, so it would air on a Saturday night, and then Sunday night in Australia they put it up
on Sunday, which is huge.
Huge. Anyways, Connor, I'm aware that we're about to come out of the what am I trying to say?
We did good, Aiden. We nearly got a full hour in.
We beefed that out, didn't we? Just talking about nostalgic Doctor Who things. What I meant to say was
I love beating it out. I beat it out all the time.
the hour that I have you for, Connor, is coming to an end. So
yeah, sorry, Aiden. This week's a bit of a rush. Next week will be fine.
No, that's alright. I've done it to you 1,000 times before. What is your rating for Season 3, Episode 6, The Lazarus Experiment?
I'm going to give it a 7 3/4.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to give it an 8, but I'm like, it doesn't really deserve that. Oh. I enjoyed it a lot more than last week's. Well, should I say tomorrow's?
Yeah.
Not yesterday's, sorry. Fuck's sake, can I talk today, Aiden?
No, you can't.
I can't.
I also found like a lot more enjoyment in it than I thought. I still gave it a relatively low ranking though, just because it just hasn't like gripped me, and I watched it and it was one of those ones where I just didn't think about it. Whereas like Gridlock, which I gave 7.5, and the Shakespeare Code, which I also gave 7.5, for some reason I was just thinking about those episodes for days after watching. And Lazarus Experiment I watched yesterday morning, and I'm not kidding, until we spoke about it and we mentioned it last night, that we were like, this is how we spent our Doctor Who days, and I was like, oh yeah, I watched Doctor Who this morning, and I did not fucking remember the entire day that I'd watched that episode. That's how kind of forgettable it came to me. So, I'm giving it a fat 6.5.
Fair enough. But that's pretty generous.
I don't know. I think it's maybe a little harsh, because it is fun and it is enjoyable, but it just doesn't stand out. It is.
What I like the most about it is I think it's quite original.
Yeah. Fair.
But that's just me.
Fair. Fairly fair.
Right.
Connor, I'll let you shoot off to your second podcast of the night for...
Yeah.
We'll
be back next week for the 2 episodes.
Don't say next week, Connor.
What do you mean? It is next week.
Well, no. This is... This episode is going to be out on Monday.
Sorry, dear. So this will be what? So I should say, actually tune in this Thursday for
42.
42?
This Thursday we'll be reviewing 42. It's all a bit crazy. Me and Connor are still getting used to doing 2 episodes a week, which we are doing for the rest of the year. So everyone, love that. We love doing it. It's a bit stressful.
Send it to the BBC.
Send it to the BBC. We want to get Russell on here. We want to get Gatus on here. Let's get David. Let's get Sim. Let's get Freema. It's all happening.
I'd love to talk to Russell.
Honestly, I think we'd have a fat laugh with him. Connor, do you have your ruler out there ready? Oh no, we might have to sing the outro without the ruler tapping this week. Oh damn.
You know what? Every single fan of the show, DM me right now and tell me how much you fucking love me slapping my mic with a ruler. Connor can't talk today. Alright, you ready? I'm like Mario.
Let's fucking go!
Ready? And a 1, and a 2, and a skidly do.
It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Can you believe that we came up with that on the fly one day?
That was all you.
Yeah, I improvised that, didn't I? Wow.
Can you tell I'm a drummer, by the way, Aiden, when you can hear me tapping my
No, I can't. I'm literally like sat there like, wow, this guy does not have any sense of music.
If you do actually listen, you can tell that I used to be a drummer.
Sorry, I actually listened. I'm like, whoa, was this the guy from Whiplash? Whoa. Is this Miles Teller?
Aiden. I am Miles Teller.
Oh.
I am miles away from telling you to fuck off. Thank you. Good night, everyone.